When you wake up in the morning, do you feel pretty stiff and tight in your body, or when you've been sitting down for a while watching TV or a computer and you stand and you're like, oh, my hips and my back and my shoulders? Well, what you need to do is to move. I know sometimes the last thing you want to do when you're feeling like that is move, but movement is the antidote to our joints seizing up and feeling aches and pains in our body. Today I've got the class just for you. It is a 10-minute mobility class, 10 exercises, 1 minute each, with a 15-second interval in between where I will demonstrate the move. It's total beginner level and you can just do it in your normal clothes. You will need maybe a chair to help with your balance for one of the exercises. Other than that, I'm working out in bare feet, a nice flat stable surface and a little bit of space to move around it. That is all you're going to need. We will begin with a few stretches for the spine and then we'll move into the actual class. So stand in your nice free space, bring the feet maybe around hip distance apart, whatever's comfortable for you, and on an inhale the arms come up to the sky, full body stretch, rooting down through the feet and stretching up through the fingertips, and exhale down. Again, inhale, lift, exhale down. One more, inhale, lift, and exhale down. Brilliant. We'll start to do a little bit of rotation of the spine, just shifting the weight side to side gently on the feet, and then moving the upper body round, seeing if you can keep that pelvis facing forward, allowing the arms to be fluid, just moving through this natural motion in the body, not worrying what it looks like. Noticing how it feels in the spine, feeling the rotation, moving around, and then come to rest. And the left arm will reach up to the sky, we'll bending into the left knee and then switching over to the other side. So as you start to do this movement, it feels a bit more fluid, bending and reaching, shifting the weight side to side, moving through that foot and the ankle joint as you do this. Stretching into the side waist, feels so good. And then come to settle. And last thing, we'll do a little bit of extension and flexion of the spine. So extension is when we open to the back. You can bring the knees under the hips. I'll turn to the side. Inhale, open the chest and the throat to the sky. I'm in these cactus arms. As you exhale, just rounding forward. Maybe bringing the hands down to support your weight on your thighs, and then inhale, lift, exhale, round, and notice the movement in the spine, the rounding, and then the opening. Again, not worrying what it looks like, thinking more about how it feels. We'll do one more. And release. Well done. We'll move into the first move. I'll just demonstrate it first. This is known as double arm pulse. Standing with the feet a comfortable distance apart. Spine is tall. The left arm will come up to the sky and the right arm will come down. So when the arm is down, the palm faces backwards, and when it's up, the palm faces forward. And we'll do a double pulse, 2 to the back, and then we switch the other arm, and then to the diagonal, and then out to the side. And we'll move around like a clock face like that. I'm not going to say the clock numbers because I always get them wrong because I'm kind of mirroring. But you know how it feels in your body. So this will be 1 minute and then 15-second break where I'll demonstrate the next one. Getting ready. And begin. Double pulse backwards. Moving the arms. And then as you're doing this, bring your awareness to the shoulder blades and feel them contracting, or the muscles, bringing the arms back. This is great to wipe away those cobwebs in the shoulder joint, especially if you sit for ages on a computer. We very rarely do this sort of backward movement with the upper body because we're always crouching forward, especially over devices and say computer, and then picking things up is always to the front, like picking up shopping, picking up our pets, or grandchildren. We don't really do much to the posterior with the upper body. Again, maybe bringing your attention to the shoulder blades, noticing how it feels. I think I'm going a bit off. And release. Well done. This next move I'll just demonstrate will be sidestepping and coming out, then using the strength of this outside leg to release the other one down. So we come into a balance and we move with grace and control. Rather than momentum, we are controlling the descent. So this is especially helpful, this move, to help with falls, because sometimes we might fall sideways. If we have strength in the body on the side plane like this is known as the coronal plane. It can help us stop falling. It's so important we do these mobility moves that they mimic the kind of mobility we need for everyday life. Again, don't worry what it looks like. I'm not a dancer, you may have been able to tell, but the important thing is the engagement in the body and how it feels like that. Just 5 more seconds. And this is the next one. So this is, the left arm will come out, the right arm comes across, make it into a fist, you pull it back, up, down, up, and then back across. So that fist comes back. We're rotating through the upper arm bone here. So pulling, and again, as you come forward and you pull back, imagine it's the shoulder pulling the arm back. So this doesn't have to be fast. What's important is the motion in the joint. This feels kind of nice, this one. I don't know what to call this. Bow and arrow punch, because you're using your fist, although you're pulling the fist back. I don't know. Someone think of a name for this move and put it in the comments. Feels so good, and you can make this as fluid as possible. You know, these movements don't have to be rigid. You can move through natural movements of the body. Again, not worrying what it looks like, making it your own. And release, and then we'll do the other side. Maybe shake it out. Maybe you can notice a difference in both sides because you've only worked one. Finding that nice base. The right arm comes out, and then the left arm comes across. Make it into a fist. We bring it back, up, down, up, and then across again. Pulling this back. This feels really good. Rotating through that upper arm bone in the shoulder joint. It's amazing really as we go through the day how little movement we have in our joints. We get just used to doing the same movements all the time, but when we start to move our bodies in different directions and move the muscles in different directions, it can really bring a new sense of freedom to the body. 15 more seconds on this side. And release. Now we'll move on to the knees and thighs. Sitting down into a chair, bringing the palms to the chest, and then standing up and bringing one knee up. And then we change. And as you do this, you may find a natural movement of the arms. So you might keep your palms at the chest the whole time. Or as you come up, it might be more natural to bring the arms back like this. Or you can bring the arms up. A bit like Karate Kid move. Or you can have the arms long. So with these long levers, this really works the core more. So do whatever feels good in your body. Bending down into the knees, strengthening the glutes and the thighs. If you do experience knee pain, the key is to build up the muscles that support the knee. So you may only be able to come down a few inches, and over time your range of motion develops. Well done. The next one is palm trees. Bringing the feet together. We're coming up onto the balls of the feet and the palms come up. These are your fronds, and then we come down. So you can start with the legs together, lengthening tall, and then coming down. So this is a great move for calves and the ankles and the whole of the foot. Maybe even roll back onto the heels as you come down. Activating the front body to help keep you stable. Zipping up through the midline, engaging the quads. And then maybe you can experiment with bringing the feet a little bit further apart. Maybe that feels better in your body. We all have different shaped skeletons, and some postures and alignments feel a lot better for others than they might do for you. Maybe you find it easier with it wider base, is a bit more stability. And as you develop strength and balance, you can bring the legs closer together. Excellent, well done. This next one is where you might need the chair. Right hand is on the chair. We're lifting out to the side, an external rotation, then internal, external, and down again. So external, internal. So feel the femur bone moving in the hip joint for this one. So you can do it without the chair, but the focus really is on the mobility of the hip rather than struggling to balance. I've only got like a fingertip really on this chair, so all the weight is in this leg. It's just helping me stay steady, so I receive the benefit of the hip movement. This one is also great if you sit down a lot, because we don't really get either that external or internal rotation of the hip, and we just sit in a neutral position in a chair for a long time. Couple more seconds. And release, and we'll do the other side. I'm in a battle here with the sunlight. It's like in that film, I Am Legend, when the sun was coming up and the vampires were going to come out. Out to the side, internal, external, and down. So you may notice a real difference in the side. So for me, I'm more open. So although I'm mirroring you, and you're doing your right leg, this is actually my left. I'm more open on this side, but I have greater strength in my right hip because I'm right-handed. When we do these asymmetrical exercises, it reveals imbalances in the body. They do suggest to start with your weaker side, and sometimes even do the weaker side twice. Depends how much time you've got. Keep going, you're doing brilliantly. I'm building up a bit of a sweat here. And release. You won't need the chair again. We're now going to move into these lunge step backs with a knee twist. Stepping back into a lunge, coming up, twist, then we step forward and do the other side. So actually it's not really a lunge, it's more of a step. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, and then you can start to bring the arms in. I'll turn to the side so you can see what it looks like. Just stepping back and then twisting across, using that core, this rotational movement. Any arms will do here. It feels good for you. Just bringing the core into play and a bit of balance as well. Keep going, you're doing brilliantly. We've actually only got one more move after this. Hopefully your body feels pretty warmed up by now. This last move is a goddess circle. Feet turn outwards, bend and sit down into the thighs. Arms come up and swing around to one side, moving from the waist, then up the other. See if you can lift your toes up. This helps activate the core. How far down you come depends on your range of motion in your knees, the flexibility in the hips. But this is a great move to keep doing to help open the body. We're using core strength to bring the torso up and down. Doesn't have to look perfect. As long as you're not feeling any pain, which is different from feeling challenged, then it's all good. Just 15 more seconds. You can do it. If this is too much at any time, you can just straighten the legs and then go back. And we are done. Well done. That was a nice quick mobility sequence that you can do every day, just to, as I say, keep all those cobwebs away and keep the body fit and healthy so you stay mobile for years and years to come. So we just finished. Get our breath back. I am out of breath. That's a big movement in the thighs, that goddess one. Just maybe sway side to side. Do any movement that your body's craving. Stretching out. Being intuitive about what your body needs. If you're interested, I do have a free joint health guide that gives lots of useful information about how to keep our joints healthy. Unfortunately, most of the time they try to sell us supplements, and it's kind of the easy option to take some pills, but really long term we want to do the most natural thing for our joints. The most natural way to keep them healthy is to keep moving, to have an anti-inflammatory diet. Make sure we get good sleep, because sleep is when our body mends itself, and adequate relaxation as well. We want to keep in that parasympathetic tone of the nervous system, so we're not always on guard in the fight or flight, and that also helps our body restore. Thank you for joining me today. I'm still alive, no vampires have come to get me, and I will see you again soon. Take care, thank you.